Hi, this is Dr. Hilary Goldsher with Ask an Expert, answering your love and parenting questions. Today's question is, I'm incredibly jealous of my wife's time. When she's out with friends, I obsess about what she's doing, who she's talking to, and I can't seem to get out of my head this idea that she's going to cheat. It enrages me, and we always end up getting into a screaming fight when she comes home. I know I need to trust my wife, but I can't seem to let go of these thoughts. What can I do? I'm so glad that you asked this question today. I think many men who experience these type of feelings and engage in these kind of behaviors feel a little bit ashamed or embarrassed, or it's difficult to talk about these topics. So I'm really glad that you reached out to do so. And the first thing I want to say to you, I want to be very direct. The feelings and the behaviors that you're experiencing and exhibiting are of concern to me. And they sort of are beginning to fall under the umbrella of domestic violence type behaviors. Domestic violence behaviors are not just about physically hurting someone, your partner, they're also about emotional control. And it sounds like that's what you are engaging in. And emotional control is much like what you're talking about, having excessive worry about what your wife is doing, imagining that she'll cheat on you, and engaging in dialogue and arguing with her around these topics. And my concern is that if you don't get help on these issues, that it will escalate, and that it could result in further emotional abuse, verbal abuse, and God forbid, physical abuse. So I think it's really important to seek some intervention through psychotherapy so you can begin to uncover what's happening with you that's making it difficult to kind of contain these concerns. And I'll tell you something that might surprise you, which is that much of this is not about your wife. It's actually probably about issues and experiences that you've had much before you met her. And that is that oftentimes people who engage in this type of behavior have had deep abandonment issues early on in their childhood. So some sort of abandonment, whether it's through death or divorce or abuse or some other trauma. And they bring that sort of into their adult present day life. And they fear that people that they care about, in this case your wife, will abandon them. And so in order to prevent that from happening, you imagine that you can somehow engage in this type of controlling behavior, and that will keep them from leaving you. And so in therapy, you can begin to explore these type of issues and get a handle on them, process them, and begin to learn sort of coping skills for what to do when these type of feelings come up. So I'd recommend immediate psychotherapy to begin to address this. The last thing I would say between right now and the time that you actually do start psychotherapy is when these feelings come up, to put as much distance between yourself and your wife as possible. So literally, go for a walk, go for a drive, call a friend, listen to music, meditate, anything that can get in between you and your wife and those feelings so you're not acting out on them and becoming aggressive. And I hope this information has helped. And if you'd like to talk further about domestic violence, please feel free to contact me, and you can do so through my website at drhillarygoldsher.com. Thank you so much. Connect with me at yourtango.com/experts/Dr. Hilary Goldsher.